get right into it. Number 1. Einstein didn't fail math. You've probably heard the Einstein flunked math story, the one teachers dropped to make you feel better about bombing algebra. Total nonsense. By the time Einstein was 15, he was crushing advanced math and even teaching himself calculus, which is exactly the kind of thing you do when you're not failing. The myth started from a mistranslation of his old school records. Someone misread Einstein was really good at math, as Einstein couldn't pass math, and the internet of the early 1900s, aka gossip, ran wild with it. And it stuck, because we like the idea that geniuses started out as regular screw-ups. Makes us feel like there's still hope for us if we can't figure out the tip at a restaurant. So no, Einstein didn't fail math. He just made the rest of us look bad by comparison, which, honestly, might be worse. Number 2. The tongue taste map is fake. Remember that diagram in school that showed your tongue has separate zones for sweet, sour, salty, and bitter? Yeah, total lie. Your taste buds can pick up all flavors anywhere on your tongue. There is no sweet corner or bitter zone. Whoever came up with that chart basically turned science into a game of Candyland. The myth started because of a bad translation of an old study, and somehow it ended up in every science textbook like it was gospel. In reality, if you put sugar on the bitter part of your tongue, you'll still taste sweet, unless you're one of those people who puts pineapple on pizza, in which case, I can't help you. So next time someone tells you the tip of your tongue is for sweet things, ask them why hot sauce burns no matter where it lands. Spoiler, your whole tongue is a flavor party. It just sometimes invites pain to the guest list. Number 3. Humans didn't evolve from chimps. You've been told humans came from chimps, right? Wrong. We didn't level up from monkeys like some weird nature video game. What actually happened is, we both came from the same mysterious ancestor a few million years ago, then went our separate ways. Chimps stuck with the tree swinging. We went for inventing Wi-Fi and arguing on the internet. And yeah, we share about 98% of our DNA with them, which sounds like a lot, until you realize we also share about 60% with bananas. That last 2% between us and chimps? That's the difference between building a rocket and throwing it at someone. The humans came from monkeys thing caught on because it's simple and catchy. But in reality, it's more like you and your cousin both growing up in different towns. Except one of you discovered fire and the other is still throwing sticks at it. Number 4. Death by penny? Not even close. You've probably heard this urban legend. If you drop a penny from the top of a skyscraper, it'll hit someone so hard it could kill them. Sounds intense, but it's complete nonsense. Here's the real science. That penny falls, picks up speed, then air resistance smacks it down like it owes money. It starts spinning, tumbling, wobbling, like a sad little coin doing parkour through the wind. By the time it hits the ground, it's going maybe 25 miles per hour. That's slower than your grandma on an e-bike. Getting hit by a falling penny feels less like an assassination attempt and more like an annoying flick from the universe. Now, if that penny was shaped like a dart, made of metal, and dropped from orbit, sure, that's a space bullet. But a regular penny dropped from a building, you're more likely to be injured by a falling slice of pepperoni, a rogue fidget spinner, or an emotionally unstable pigeon. Number 5. Bulls aren't angry at red. You've seen the Matador thing. Fancy outfit, red cape, angry bull charging like it's in an action movie. Here's the truth. Bulls don't care about red at all. They're basically colorblind to it. What sets them off is movement, not color. You could wave a blue towel, a plaid shirt, or your grandma's floral bedsheet. They'll still come for you. The red cape tradition started because it hides the blood during the fight. Yeah, not exactly the romantic symbol of fury story they tell you. So if you ever find yourself in front of a bull, it's not about what you're wearing. It's about the fact that you're waving fabric in its face like some TikTok dance challenge gone wrong. Bottom line, the bull's not mad at the color, it's mad at you. Number 6. Bats aren't blind. You've heard the phrase, blind as a bat, right? Total scam against bats. These little night flyers can actually see just fine, some even better than humans in low light. They just happen to rely more on echolocation, which is like having built-in sonar. The myth started because bats are super active at night and use sound to navigate, so people assumed they couldn't see at all. But in reality, they're flying around with night vision and a radar system, which is 2 more navigation tools than most of us have when we're trying to find the bathroom at 3 a.m. So next time someone says, blind as a bat, just remember, the bat can see you and hear you and probably avoid you better than you can avoid furniture in the dark. Number 7. Goldfish don't have a 3-second memory. Everyone's heard this one. Goldfish forget everything in 3 seconds. Supposedly, they just swim in circles like, whoa, what's this castle? Then 3 seconds later, whoa, what's this castle? But the truth? Goldfish can remember stuff for months. Scientists have trained them to navigate mazes, recognize different shapes, even tell music genres apart. One study had goldfish hit a target to get food, and they could still do it weeks later. So your goldfish isn't stuck in some endless short-term memory loop. It's probably just judging you for binge-watching the same show for the 3rd time. The myth survived because a goldfish's brain is the size of a pea, and people assumed small brain means dumb. But size doesn't equal smarts. If it did, some humans wouldn't be out here believing goldfish are dumber than they actually are. Number 8. You don't swallow 8 spiders a year while sleeping. You've probably heard this nightmare fuel before. The average person swallows 8 spiders a year in their sleep. Sounds gross enough to be true, but nope, it's complete fiction. Think about it. Spiders don't want to crawl into your mouth. To them, you're basically a giant, snoring, heat-radiating earthquake machine. Plus, you toss, turn, and breathe. Not exactly prime real estate for an arachnid vacation. In fact, the vibrations from your breathing alone are enough to send most spiders running in the opposite direction. This fact actually started as a joke in the 1990s to prove how easily misinformation spreads. Someone made it up, people repeated it, and now half the planet believes they're running a free spider buffet every night. So if you wake up with your mouth dry, it's not because you swallowed a spider, it's because you've been sleeping like a cartoon character. Number 9. Shaving makes hair grow back thicker. Spoiler, it doesn't. You've heard it a million times. Don't shave, it'll grow back thicker and darker. This is one of those lies that sounds believable because it feels true. But here's what actually happens. When you shave, you're just cutting the hair off flat at the surface. That blunt edge makes it feel rough, kind of like touching a tree stump instead of a smooth branch. It's not growing back stronger, it's just pricklier. Your hair doesn't know it's been shaved. It doesn't scream, sound the alarms, we're under attack, grow back angrier. Your DNA controls your hair's color, thickness, and how fast it grows. Shaving doesn't upgrade your genetics. If that myth were true, every balding dude would be out here dry shaving his head like it's Miracle-Gro. We'd have entire gyms full of guys yelling, "Don't touch my razor, it's working!" Number 10. Cracking your knuckles doesn't cause arthritis. You've probably had someone scold you for cracking your knuckles. Stop that or you'll get arthritis? Sounds scary, but nope, totally wrong. The pop you hear isn't your bones grinding together. It's just little gas bubbles in the fluid around your joints bursting when you stretch them, kind of like opening a tiny soda can inside your hand. Multiple studies have looked into this, and there's no link between knuckle cracking and arthritis. In fact, one doctor famously cracked the knuckles on only one hand for 60 years, just to prove the point. When he compared the two hands, there was zero difference. The worst that can happen is mild swelling or a slightly weaker grip if you do it constantly. But arthritis? Not on the list. So, go ahead. Crack away. Just maybe don't do it in a quiet elevator, unless you enjoy watching strangers wince. So there you go. A bunch of facts you've probably believed your whole life. Completely wrecked. And if you think these were surprising, just wait until you hear the myth about something you definitely did this morning. One that might change the way you look in the mirror forever.